So we all use mockups, we download mockups every day. But today I'll be showing you guys how to use mockups and also how to make mockups for yourself. Use on unique projects and then have something that you are sure no other person will be using for their own projects. Let's dive in. Alright. So mockups work on a basic principle or function in Photoshop, which is or are smart objects. So smart objects are like containers that contain objects, images, shapes, and basically anything you can put in Photoshop or in a Photoshop layer. So if you look to the bottom right here, you would see this icon right on this layer, this right page. There's an icon here. I'm pointing to it. So that icon basically shows you that a layer is a smart object. So to make something a smart object, what you do is, let's use this layer for example. You right click and hit convert to smart object, and let's wait for that to load. Yep, so you see that icon pop up beside the thumbnail. So let's undo that. So how smart objects work. So let's make a smart object ourselves. Let's create a shape. Right, so we have, I think I'll just create a new composition. So let's create our smart object. We have this circle and we're going to right click and convert to smart object. So what you notice that one, we have this icon here, and then when we double click the thumbnail, it takes us to another window which contains the layer, where our smart object is, which is the circle. Do you understand? So let's cancel that and move straight to our mockup. So every mockup has a smart object, and usually the layer is titled with the place or the location of that particular layer. So right now this says right page, and if I turn it off and on, you notice that it contains the page or the image for the right page. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click the thumbnail. It's going to take us to the object window, and boom, here we have it. So it sorts out whatever we drag into this window that contains our smart object. It's going to display on our final mockup object. So let's have an example now. Another long pause for you to cut out will be Alright, so this wasn't made for the magazine page, but then you can use it just to make this example work. Right, so scaled up. So what I'm going to do now is hit Ctrl S, which is to save. That's going to save that page, and let's give it a minute. Boom, and now it's displaying on our magazine mockup like it's an actual magazine, like it was actually printed. So that's pretty much how this works. You double click on your smart object thumbnail, you put your image or logo or PNG or whatever inside the smart object, and you save, and then it updates back in the original file. So that's how it works. Let's have another example. I think this mockup is pretty heavy. So here's the box mockup, and if we look through, you can see your design here. You can see a layer named your design here. So that's pretty much what we'll be putting our logo. So I'm going to double click on that. Another long pause for it to come. All right. All right, so we have this open. What we're going to do is we're going to drag our own logo into this. There we go. Let's reduce the size of this a bit. And, yeah. So I'm going to turn this old logo off and then Control S to save. So let's go back to the original mockup, and boom, our logo is on the mockup on the box. So that's how this works. Now, for how we can make our own mockups, it's pretty much simple. So what you do is you start by creating the container for your mockup. So the container for our mockup will be a rectangular shaped object, because this is a box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a rectangle that spans the side of the box. So you notice that I hit so this is taking a while to load up, before it to load up. Right, so you notice that the top left aligns with the vertex of that box, or that face of the box, and then this with the bottom right aligns with the bottom right as well. So I'm going to right click and convert to object. Right, so now I'm going to want to adjust this just so it fits the whole area of that page or that side of the box. So I'm going to control and click on that point and drag till it gets to the bottom left, and then control click on this other part on that top right, so it aligns with the top right of that face of the box. So I have that done. So you can see that the rectangle is pretty much in on that side of the box. So now I'm going to double click. Right, so I'm inside that small object. So whatever I put here is going to reflect in the mockup. So let's put some text here. Let's put let's see. We just made this. Alright, so let's have this in black. So I'll drag this to the center and hit Control S. And boom. So there's a little overlap here because we didn't turn off the layer for that particular side, which is already on. So let's turn that off. Yep. So now you can see our text on that side of the box saying we just made this. So it looks like it's actually on the face of that box. So you could always add adjustment layers, increase the brightness, reduce the brightness, add textures, just to make sure and even shadows, like on this mockup, you can add shadows, lights, just to make the objects you put on your mockup look more realistic. But this is the fundamental way to create mockups and to use mockups. Alright, so mockups work on a basic principle or function in Photoshop, which is or are smart objects. So smart objects are like containers that contain objects, images, shapes, and basically anything you can put in